We check. Hello, hello, hello. I think now it should be fine. Let's just check that once. Now it should be audible better and everything should be fine. Perfect. Let's get started. Today I'm going to revise lead code problems. The idea is very simple. The idea is to get better every day. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. We have our notepad ready. I want nice colors. So start with our which color? Today let's go with red. God is great. Okay. Let's say I think great doesn't want to come here. So there are a lot of problems to practice, but I just want to get clarity on different topics. That is the name. Like just want to revise a lot of things, right? Because that is important. We'll start with okay. So these are the dynamic programming questions which I have not done. Are they worth doing? No, they are not worth doing, but they are worth revising, right? We'll just reverse it, revise it once. So you are climbing, it takes 10 steps to reach the top. Each climb you can either one or two step. How many? So you have basically two options, right? Uh, Two options. Either you can take one step or you can take two steps, right? And so it will be like one plus whatever our function is. We can call as there's a short form of fn. Let's call it fn, and then I plus one, right? And then the second option would be 1 plus fn I plus 2 and n, right? So we have these two options. Uh, uh, yeah, the I plus 2. So that's how it is going to work. I don't want to waste my time solving it, but I just want to do one thing because as we are revising it, right? So I was at this thing. Not gonna solve it. It's a easy problem anyway, but just still hovering over it so that it is in my mind, right? So you have two options, I plus 2 and I plus 1. Sounds good. We go to next one. I want to get rid of these two. Also, let's add these problems in our the problems that we are revising, right? We can probably add it in the stream. Okay. So minimum cost climbing. So you are given integer array cost where cost is the cost of ith. So you are given an integer array cost where cost I is the cost of ith step, and once you pay the cost you can either climb 2. So basically instead of 1 here now you have a cost, right? And you want to minimize. You can either start from 0 and start from 1. One way is that you can start solve from 1, and then wherever you are at you have to pay that cost, right? And then you move forward. If it is greater than, basically you have climbed everything, right? So that's how this is also going to look like. Basically pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Again, not gonna waste time solving it. So 0 or 1. So you, if there is greater than equal to 0, then basically it's done. That's how it is. This will be NO of NDP, 1 DDP, right? You are a professional robbing. So basically it's the same thing again. So either if you rob this, you can't rob this one, or you can don't rob this and go with the next one, right? Plain and simple. So you can rob it and go skip the next one, or you can skip not robbing it, right? Two options. So it is a circle now. So either, see how it goes is there are two ways to think of it. Let's say you have 232, right? If you rob this particular house, right, then you cannot rob this. If you don't rob this, then you can rob this, right? So one way of doing it is you add this, you say nums of I, right? And then see, or a different way I'll tell you. You can do two things. You can search this part, because whether Robert doesn't matter, but you don't want to go till this. Or you can do the same thing here. Don't include this and start from here. Whether you take it or not take it, that is on you, right? So basically same thing. Let's solve this one once. So public and solve and nums in 10. You need nums and you need I, right? In 10 is equal to nums dot length. If I is greater than equal to n, return 0, right? Now, int option 1 will be you want to take this, and then you say that, okay, here, see, you will take this n. That's your last. You'll say nums, and I'll not take the next one, and n remains the same. Or you are saying that, okay, let's not take it, right? And then return math dot max of option 1 and option 2, public int dp is equal to new integer nums dot length, right? Now here are the two options that we want to say. See math dot max. So either here you are saying that you are starting from, but you can't take the last one, right? Then if you're starting from, or you're saying that, okay, I'm starting from first, but I can take the last one, right? So here also I'll do dp of I is not equal to null, return dp of I, right? Here also I'll do the same thing. So that's how dp basis is pretty straightforward. They're saying that okay, this is has to be integer. I'm going to use the null thing, right? That's why it is happening. Okay, so output here is, here what we are doing is we are just robbing this house 1 and 3. Expect, so you can just rob the last one also, right? Why did that not come? So we'll start with this. 1 is greater than no. You have two options. Here you are saying that okay, I'm not gonna rob it and you move to the next one, right? So you started from here 1 0 1. So you're not gonna rob it. So basically if you can rob it, you'll go to the next one, and here you don't want to rob it, right? So if you don't want to rob it, in the second option, you are just taking, you're not taking this one, you move to the next one. I is not, n is 3, right? 0 1 3. So it is not equal to null, you return that. Then you have two options. I plus 1 should be math.max of nums 1 2 3, right? So 1 here is, oh, I think when we do this, right, we need to clean our TP. That should be the problem. Let's see that. And answer 1, I think so. Uh, let's do this, or we can do this. Arrays dot fill dp is equal to null, right? I think so. That is the answer, but we'll see. See, because now we are running the same operation twice, right? Now you need to return math dot max of answer 1 comma answer 2. Solve, solve. Yep, that was the thing. But how come this thing is not coming in the other one? Okay, so if there is 1, your output is 1, right? Okay, but here it is saying that it is click greater than equal to 0. One way of doing it is that if there is n, you just return that element. But this is weird, like this should work. I'm not, this is not a clean version of the code. We need to write the clean. This is not clean. Let me check once. One second. See, another way of doing it is you put a flag there, right? So you put a flag and then you say that if you have bought, then you will not buy again, right? So if you have bought, so basically flag 0 will tell whether you have bought first element or not, right? If it is 0, you have bought first element or not. But I don't want to do that. That is like more code. How to avoid this thing here, right? So if there is only one element, this will definitely come there, right? So there it will be 0 0 if that is the case, right? Now I can't just say that, okay, you return that. If I is here, I is greater than equal to 1, right? But it is less than that. But okay, how many answers are wrong? It's just the one, right? So if nums dot length is equal to 1, return nums of 0. But that's like not a right. So I will see editorial once. I need to look at the editorial. If okay, let me just go through the editorial once. There should be a so okay. Yeah, that's required. That's required. That's the base case. That's required. Can't do anything about it. Cool. That is also done. We'll move to this problem. This I think I have solved again. I'm going to revise it only. So LPS. Now the idea of this is that BA, BD, we can check each of the string, right? So I'll start from here. I'll check from I will be I to N, and then for each there will be J to N, right? J start from I plus 1. So for this, then I will check palindrome, check palin. So this is like an cube operation. Now I want to cut this part out, right? Check palindrome is still okay, but how do I make sure like this? I don't need to check for each substring, right? But basically for this BA, I can just do it in one go, like make this n square, right? Because if I take a more centric approach, that this could be a center, right? Here A could be a center. Any element will be a center of your palindrome, right? So you'll start from, yeah, I solved this recently, I think. So you'll start from uh, center and then go both the ways, and then you'll get that, right? And then you'll see whether whichever is your maximum. Cool. That is also good. So palindromic substance. Let's do this once. So given a string return number of palindromic substrings, it is the same. This is n cube. So I need something that works in n square. Read same. One way is that you have to brute force, right? But that is not going to work here. Oh, I see. Okay. So we'll leave this question for now. I'll move to this question for now. Move to decode ways. So you have a message scripted and some companies are not. Let's check. So little. Uh, all this. You have a intercepted secret encoded string of numbers. Okay. So basically, you have an encoded message and we want to decode it. There are multiple ways of decoding it. If there is one, you can convert to A. If it's two, you can convert to B. If it is 26, you can convert it to Z. Right. You realize that there are many different ways you can, because some codes, yeah, definitely. If it is 2, if it is 25, there are two ways. You can make 2 as B and 5 as BE, or you can just say this is Y, right? So let's then, given a string containing only return the number of ways of, so you have S, which is 1, 2, right? So you have two options basically, right? Either you can pick this alone, standalone. If it is 0, you can't do it, right? Because 0 will only fit in the end. So you have option to split basically. Either you can split it here or you can take the next element and split it, but you can only take two elements, right? You can't go beyond the 26. You have 1 to 26 only. This is a good one. Let's solve this one. So here, right, for 1, so you can either split it at 1 and then move ahead, or you can split it at 2 and then move ahead. What I want to do is I want to keep my, if your starting point is 0, then you can't do anything. That's given. So one way is that you can have two starting points, right? So basically you're saying that okay, I need to break from 0 to I. But let's see the constraints. Constraints are 100 only. I can go with two only, whereabouts only, like I and j, right? So one is that you start from 0 and then you have 0, right? You start from 0, 0. Either you split this and you increase both become same again, or you keep this same and then you move to the next element. And the difference between these two should be always be 2, right? And 0 should not be -1 to make it a valid one. That is one way, right? That is one way of doing it, but uh, other way is that you can, because your string will change, right? That's the only thing. Your string is going to change. Thinking of some other way which could be faster, and we have, yeah, let's not change the string. Let's not do that. So let's go with this way. For now, right? So int n is equal to s dot length, right? If I is greater than equal to n, return 0, right? No more elements left. So then you have two options, right? So this I is your starting point, right? So for int j is equal to I, j less than n, j plus plus. Now what we are saying is you can split I to j, or you can choose to move forward. Now, how will you know that? It should not be 0. So, if s dot caret I is equal to 0, basically you can't split it here. Can't choose this as a split, right? So, this can't be your starting point. Struggling a bit, let's see. What did I do? So, yeah, one another way is that is there the number, right? Whether the each number is there in the hash map. Basically, first you have all the encodings, and then you start with your number, right? If you can only make a split of 2, right? If your current slip, that becomes your one option. Mm. If we see, we only have two options, right? So, in 1, 2, either you can take 1 or you can 1, 2, right? So, two options, I or I plus 2, right? But provided it needs to be in a value. Mm. So, we're going to solve this. It can be just a hash set, right? And you don't need to care whatever is the value of it. And let's create it. So this is like valid numbers, right? Valid. Right. Now public int solve string is int I, right? Now int 10 is equal to s dot length if I is greater than equal to n. right? Return 1 means that we have decoded it, right? Now int option 1 is equal to 0, int option 2 is equal to 0. Now option 1 is always valid. So if hs dot contains 1, 2, for all the numbers 1 to 2, right? So warrant I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 26 I plus plus valid dot put uh, you can say plus I, right? So it becomes a string. Now if it contains s dot caret I plus this, right? To make it a string. So that means that you can split making length 1 split. It is valid, it is possible. So it's like s I plus 1. You took that option. Now another is if I plus 1 is less than and you can make 2 split and hh dot contains s dot substring I plus 2, right? Then option 2 is also possible. Return option 1 plus option 2, public integer tp. Again, this is the changing variable, right? If tp of I is not equal to null, return tp of I. dp of I dp is equal to new integer s dot length. Return solve s comma 0 string ss is equal to plus I ss valid dot add this dot add, right? Valid, this has to be valid. Oh my god, crazy. Cool. So this is how it also works. Coin change, again easy problem. So you basically have options. Huge number of, you can take this or you can go ahead, or you can take this or you can go ahead, right? If your amount becomes negative, then you don't really care. Do I need to solve it? Uh, for the say, it doesn't matter, right? It's time waste. Solving one problem again and again. You know that if your coin amount becomes less, then that's not really an answer. You have two options basically here. So not required. This is a stupid problem. This I never understood this problem. These two problems I'll park. I want to solve this problem. Word break. This is a good problem. Word break. We'll solve this one. Take a break for 5 minutes and then we'll come back to this. Break. How much time I have spent? This is just nothing. go. Let's come back. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's get rid of this. So given string is a dictionary of strings, verdicts return true if S can be segmented into words. So basically the same thing. You can break it at any point, right? So lead code. I can break this check. If it is there, that becomes one of the option. I can break this, break this, break this, break this. Simple problem. You can break it at anything and then you can go ahead and check. If you're left with empty substring in the end, that means you're possible, right? But how to make sure that so it's kind of a mixed version of decode ways only, but here you don't have that barrier of valid, right? So let's solve it. So I'm going to use a hash set here, right? And so basically word, I think this works in uh, Java. We'll see. So you can just pass word dict one line. So now what next, right? Public boolean solve string is, and I want to kind of see that what is my current substring, right? So either you can have that or you can extend it, right? Two options are there. So do we really need this as here? I can just say int I and 10 is equal to s dot length, right? So this I is going to be I of my sub start rate, but I also need to know the end of it. So what I'm trying to say is if it is 0, this I can't do because either I assume that this s is the start of it. So if s dot if n is equal to 0, return true, right? Because there is no string left. I can change that string only. Now either option is that string check is equal to s dot substring till I, right? So 0 comma I plus 1. I is included. If I is greater than equal to n, then you return false. Basically, you have a bigger string left and you're out of bounds. Now if word dot contains check, this is one option, right? Boolean option 1 is equal to false. So option 1 is equal to option 1 or solve. So you can break it, right? It is there. So now your S will change. So if that is the case, S becomes substring till I, right? So after I plus 1, basically from I plus 1, right? And this will be 0, starting a new string, right? Or your other option is even if it is valid, right? It doesn't matter whether it is valid or not. You are saying that I am not going to take it, I'm just going to extend it further. Now here your string is also changing. This will work, I think so. Let's see. Okay. Whichever is true, right? Yeah, this will work now. It will give TLE for sure because your string is also changing. So to avoid that, I can use something like this. Let's call it DP only. So key is going to be our string. Key is going to be s plus I, right? If dp dot contains key, return dp of get key, right? And dp dot put key, comma, or option 2. Now here I need to put dash also here so that it's delimiter. Let's see. Yeah, very nice. So the concept here is same only. So you start with S, let's say ABC and then I. This is 0, right? Either you can say that, okay, this is increasing. I have this, I have this, I have this. Or you can say that, okay, I want to break it, right? I am checking that 0, this part is there. I am going to break it. So then you are saying that, okay, this is there and I is there. Another way would be to maintain two things, right? But this is one way of solving. Let's try to see if there is better way. Okay, Q can also be used. So you add 0 to the Q. How is Q being used? You add 0 to the Q and then you start. Top down DP. So will it tell me the time complexity of this? Let's see. 2 raised to power n, but I am doing companies decode ways. This is also good. I need to see another solution. Okay. Just, yeah, let's read about it. Okay, guys, that's it. We'll resume in some time.